Phase 2. Let's do this. Phase 2 is a project working to create a development pathway from high school-aged kids to professional leagues of gravel racing.
This is a huge year. It's probably the hugest year I've ever had.
I think Alexi is someone I've always looked up to, and I never would have thought he would be like a mentor to me.
The goal is to help find a balance between racing and sponsor negotiations and help riders learn how to be the best version of themselves on and off the bike. We built out races that are not easy.
So much more than I thought it was going to be.
Hopefully it doesn't go over my tire.
Bike racing is about more than being strong. Learning how to succeed takes a mental game that few riders ever learn.
Take everything out of me, everything I have. This is going to be sick.
I believe our sport needs winners, and I believe our sport, most of all, needs good people.
It's a little humorous that they both said Unbound was the hardest race they've ever done, because Tushar is going to be the hardest race any of us have ever done, ever.
Utah's wildfire season is off to a busy start.
Blaze has grown to over 1,000 acres and is listed at 0% containment.
Massive fire near Beaver.
The Little Twist fire near Beaver, worried about the air quality there from the smoke.
As we come in the second round of races for our project, Tushar and Crusher, it was canceled. And that left us with a big open hole in this plan we had for the year of how to prepare a young rider for a lifetime Grand Prix or a future in the sport.
When Crusher was canceled, me and Julia were like looking at each other like, now what? We were out getting food and Alexi called us and goes, hey guys, you're gonna have to stay here for another week. I was like, why? Like, Crusher got canceled, let's go home. And he was like, guys, you gotta make lemonade. And it took me a minute to really like, okay, I'm not going home now. Like, I gotta be here for another week and there's something else. Now we gotta do it. We gotta change.
And that gave us opportunity to look elsewhere and also look for races that might be a little less difficult than Tushar, because let's be honest, Tushar might be the hardest race in the Lifetime Grand Prix calendar. And we came up with Ned Gravel. It was right up the canyon from where we were all in Boulder. Julia had been here from Michigan for 3 weeks doing altitude camp. Neruda had stayed here after his first semester at CU, and it was kind of a bit of a kumbaya moment of everyone had this moment of relief. Maybe this would be a little more relaxed than Tushar, but then also got excited to see what they could do, what they could get out of themselves, having ridden most of this course.
Alright guys, back with another YouTube video. And this is what's inside my packet. The region's most preferred orthopedic practice. Super hyped on that. That's why I came to Boulder. For Unbound, we got fuzzy pipe cleaners, so this is an upgrade.
We just finished picking up packets. We're gonna look at the course a little bit and then head back down, recover before an early morning.
I think the hardest thing since starting phase 2 for me has been getting used to structured training, like working with Apex and working with Jeff. He's been more than helpful with helping me figure out how to get into my routine. That's been like his biggest thing with wanting to keep me motivated and keep me from hating being on the bike. He wants to make sure I'm having fun all the time, which has been the best that I could possibly ask for.
My name is Jeff Hubler. I'm a cycling and strength coach with Apex Coaching, and I've been doing this for quite some time. Coaching is interesting because to me it's not a formula, it's a relationship. And it's understanding what does the athlete need, where are they going to adapt, what skills are they really good at, and what are the skills that we need to kind of foster. We see these high-performing athletes, and we just assume they've got it all together. But they have, they have a strength coach, they have an endurance coach, they have a sports psychologist, they have family. There's all of these things that are going in that are getting processed. We're coaching humans here, they're not robots, right? Things get skewed because of the images that we see, because of the media, because of the results, because we're looking at people that are looking and performing as if they are robots. But they don't understand the nuances of how do they stay at that level or get to that level.
What is your biggest struggle or learning moment since Unbound?
Realizing you're not as good as you think you are.
Absolutely, there's a reality check and there's a realization of, we call that experience, right? You only have the context of what you've been through. And when you're young, by nature, you've been through less than others. Experientially, they're pretty green. both Julia and Neruda. Managing expectations is a big thing.
It's cool to see that understanding come over them, because sometimes projects like this move so quickly that it feels like there's not much progression forward. And that's also the name of cycling. Earlier this week, we went back into my training logs from like 2010, 2011 when I was 15, 16 years old. I think it was really important for them to hear how much consistency plays a part in success on a bike. You can train really hard for a week, you can train really hard for a month, but the reality is it's stacking years on years to create what you see either at the Tour de France or with Keegan winning the Grand Prix. As an athlete coming in, I think it's usually all about the numbers. They want to see the watts per kilo, they want to see this or that, the speed, the numbers, but most of the days you ride probably aren't perfect. I had a conversation with someone early this week at a cafe, and they asked, how many days a week do you feel good on a bike when you're training? Typical 7-day week. And I was like, maybe 2 if I'm lucky. And I think that's, similar to a lot of people going to jobs, but that's the reality of the sport, is most of the days you go out are very mundane, and you have to force yourself to eat correctly, and the weather's not perfect, or your bike's not working, and all these little things pop up beyond even your body not cooperating. And sometimes you have to allow people to feel that themselves. You just can't tell them.
I woke up this morning, race day was 7:30 start, so I woke about 4 o'clock. I made about 3 eggs and half a cup of rice. Lots of soy sauce. Probably too much soy sauce.
This is my pre-race meal. I put 1 scoop of Ultra Gin, First Endurance, into my Choco Chimps, and it's really good. It's very chocolatey, but it gets me going.
Just before 6, picking up Neruda and Julia. Got the bikes in the car and gonna head up to Ned, Colorado, about 30-minute drive from Boulder, and get ready for the race.
I'm actually excited to race in a way that's not like you're next to Alexi or Keegan. I'm excited to race on roads I know. This race is not Crusher. You're not climbing for 10 miles, but it's a hard race. Like it's no joke. And I know these climbs, I know these descents, and they're not easy. So sure, it might not be Crusher, but it's still gonna be a hard ass day, and I'm excited.
So we are up in Ned, and I thought I was getting the weekend off, but Avery said, nope, you gotta ride, follow Neruda and Julia, and film for me. So I said, let's do it.
Here we go, everybody, as we're now at 1 minute to start. We are locked and loaded. This is not a drill. Big time bike racing is back here in Netherlands. 4, 3, 2, 1, andiamo! Sending off.
So we chose the 50-mile gold course at Ned Gravel for Neruda and Julia. 50 miles in length, 6,000 feet of climbing. It really challenges the riders in terms of some technical abilities.
I treated this race like let's take a step back. Let's try and pace it in a different way. Middle of the pack, we hit the road climb, and I'm looking at my Wahoo, and it's like, okay, 5K, about 3-mile climb on road, and let me just slowly move up. Just go at my pace, my tempo. I know what I can hold, and never go too far in the red.
Ned Gravel starts on peak to peak with about a 5-mile asphalt ascent. Big goal or big advice I gave them to start is just don't go out too hard and make sure you start a really hot day by eating well.
Super helpful for Alexi to tell me to not blow myself up at the first climb and to kind of take it easy up until I got to Gold Hill. I think if I didn't do that, it would have been a way different race.
About an hour and a half and 20 miles into my ride, chasing down Neruda and Julia.
Glad I took that climb chill. Everyone came right back.
It was quite interesting. It's my first time watching them race. Other than some training camps we'd done, I'd never seen them ride their bike really hard. And so at first I tried to just be, kind of a helpful big brother, coach-like at times. But as it moved on, it's the same as I would have been to any friend in the race. You're trying to motivate and kind of explain the course, what's coming ahead. You should eat a gel now.
The beginning of that climb is steep. Don't override.
Kind of the same as if you're in a breakaway with somebody and you're looking at how do we go through this course the fastest. I wanted to add as much motivation through education as I could. And it was nice that we were on a course that I'd ridden weekly in my own training, which is, you know, makes it a lot easier.
So here comes the leaders of the 50. Nice job! Woo! They are probably 25, 30 miles into their ride. Both are doing well. Now they start to tackle the most technical part of the course, Switzerland Trail, which is about a 5-mile section of old railroad. It is super chunky.
I did not know that Alexi was going to be riding with me as much as he did. And it was nice for him to be behind me on like all of Switzerland, because from when he saw me riding a little bit more technical, rocky roads in Ogden, I was very embarrassed.
Dude, we're doing Swiss, and he just pops out with the camera. I'm like, bro, where'd you come from? It was cool. Like at Unbound, he wasn't there. Alexi would have been racing in Crusher, so this was the first time he got to like support us, which was super fun.
I was really impressed by Neruda not overriding the race. I think he lives in Boulder. He really wanted to make up what he saw as a bad day at Unbound. And I really thought I might have to really corral him going out too hard, but he controlled himself and honestly paced as well as I probably could have myself. Julia's descending blew me away. Absolutely insane. I don't have many words.
She's ripping.
It's a little bit scary at times, but she's smiling and having fun, and that's the most important part.
That descent was so fun.
We were talking about staying on the bike at one point, and I was just like, isn't it insane how far you've come in this period of time?
Almost there. You're making it look so good. You're almost done.
Am I actually?
Yeah.
Start. Let's give Julia Garris a shout out. Good job today, Julie.
Thanks. Thanks for being there.
It went amazing. It went almost near perfect. I was really happy with my performance, happy with the way I fielded, and it was just a great day out there.
So I committed the cardinal sin of all sins, in my opinion. I did not pay attention to their age group podiums, and they missed their first podiums.
We missed the podium! I was happy with overall result, and I was really happy with age group result, because I know a lot of like the U19 kids are just so strong.
I'm gonna take that one on the head. I feel pretty bad about that. Yeah, we finished up. They both were talking about how they finished 12th and 13th overall in the 50 for the male and female, and that was awesome. We had some watermelon and put everyone in the car and drove down the canyon. We got down back to service and realized that they both missed their podiums in their age group. Both of them were third in their age group of 19 to 29, which is a massive accomplishment. Any moment where you get recognition for what you've done is a big pat on the back, and something that, again, has to be felt and not taught. They both killed it. Finishing third's awesome. I just wish they could have experienced that moment on top of a podium.
Yeah, at the end of the day, third in my age category was a huge surprise. And 12th overall was huge.
I think that one of the biggest parts about bike racing and biking in general is that it can be completely out of your control, and things can happen and throw anyone in for a loop.
You have no idea what's gonna happen. And I think that all of us, I think we made the most out of the situation. Like looking back on it, like I'm so happy I did this.
Ned Gravel was a success. Nobody crashed. Everyone learned. I think most importantly, it gave us another moment to realize that sometimes progression has nothing to do with the biggest races on this calendar.
Coming up, we head into the finale of Phase 2 as Neruda and Julia have one more chance to execute everything they've learned this year as they take on Big Sugar Gravel in Bentonville, Arkansas.